Learn Irish with Father Ted. Father Ted is a comedy show from the 90s based around the lives of three priests living on remote Chuaigh Island off the west coast. It was shot in the beautiful Burren in County Clare. Let's leave Father Ted to one side for the moment. We will come back to it in just a moment. And talk instead about nouns in Irish. Well, all nouns in Irish are either masculine or feminine, as in many other languages. So what, you might say? Well, actually, this has quite a lot of implications. So we would say far more, far is a masculine noun, but ban war, a big woman. We would say law ma, a masculine noun, law, but ihe wa, the feminine noun, ihe. So we can see it affects the adjective following a noun. Also, if we put the definite article, the word the, which is on in Irish, before a noun, then certain changes might happen. This will depend on whether a noun is masculine or feminine. Furthermore, as you progress with learning Irish, you're going to start to encounter what's called the genitive case. I'm not going to go into that just now, but knowing whether a noun is masculine or feminine is the first step when you're starting to learn about the genitive case. We're going to just talk about masculine nouns right now in this short video. When we look at nouns in Irish, we're going to divide them into three groups. Nouns which begin with a vowel, nouns which begin with a consonant, and nouns which begin with the letter S. So we have abhaile, t-úll, agad, cór, madra, fear, sagart, samhradh, solas. And finally, the Father Ted connection. When you think of Father Ted, probably three words spring to mind: an island, a boat, and a priest. It so happens that all of these words are masculine nouns. One of them begins with a vowel, t-oileán. One begins with a consonant, but not the letter S, bod, and one begins with the letter S, sagart. Let's look at what happens to a masculine noun which begins with a vowel when we place the definite article before it. So an island in Irish is ileán, but when we say the island, there's a change. It becomes an t-oileán. When a masculine noun begins with a consonant, actually there's no change when we put the definite article before it. So it's bod and still an bod. There's no change. Similarly, when a masculine noun begins with the letter S, there's no change when the definite article comes before it. Sagart, an sagart. Let's look at a few more examples. And these three examples all begin with are nouns which begin with a vowel. That means when we put the word on, the definite article before them, we're going to have a T. Tuairdom an t-arán, give me the money. Aragad, but an t-arán. Úll, an apple. Dime an t-úll, I ate the apple. Rán, bread. Níire me an t-arán, I didn't eat the bread. Here we have some nouns, masculine nouns, which begin with a consonant, but not the letter S. Cór, a car. Mála, a bag. Abhaile, a meal. And there'll be no change at all when we put the definite article before these nouns. Where's the car? Cailín cór. I liked the bag. Smála ma mála. The meal was nice. Bhí abhaile go deas. And finally, some masculine nouns which begin with S. And again, when we put the definite article before these, there's no change. Samhradh, summer. Smála an samhradh, I like the summer. Solas, light. Muach an solas, turn off the light. Sú, which is juice. Doyle an sú aráiste, I drank the orange juice. How can you tell if a noun is masculine or feminine? Well, the simplest way to do this is to look it up in the dictionary. Go to folklore.ie. Look up the word donkey, for example, and you'll discover that the word for donkey in Irish is asal. And right beside that, you're told that it's a masculine noun. That means if we put the definite article before it, it becomes an tassel. Another way we can check if a noun is masculine or feminine is try it on your ear. If you know the word hospital is hospital, would you say an hospital or an tuspital? Would you say an rán or an t-arán? Here are the answers. Both of these are masculine nouns. So it's an tuspital, the hospital, an t-arán, the bread. A few more tips. They're generally more masculine than feminine nouns. The professions are masculine. For example, fermior, a farmer. The farmer, no change, an fermior. Altere, an architect. But the architect, an taltere. And words ending in "een" or "on" are usually masculine. Strangely enough, the Irish word for girl, cailín, is a masculine noun. An cailín. And brudon is another example here. Brudon is a salmon. So when you say the salmon, an brudon, there's no change. You might have heard the story on brudon fasa, the salmon of knowledge. So we just need to keep these three words in mind. Think of Father Ted, and you've got now a little trick to remember what happens to masculine nouns when you put the definite article before them. Uileán an t-oileán, bod an bod, sagart an sagart. And finally, you will become familiar with the more commonly used words without even realising it. It will start to come on your ear as to whether a noun is masculine or feminine. And furthermore, it does not matter in the slightest if you make a mistake. Agus sin é, maithú.